a little bit. This headset has a really, really long cord. And I almost think that having such a long cord is a downside rather than an upside, just because it manages to get wrapped around everything. But there's still enough of it that I can use it, so I don't bother fixing it. I should just, like, take an elastic or a pin or something and, like, wrap some of it up. That would be the smart thing to do instead of just complaining about it, but who are we kidding? That's on the later me problems list. So, I figured today on the stream, it's going to be pretty similar to last week. Did I have green tea in this mug? Can I just put herbal tea in a mug that had green tea in it? I'm gonna be a mad woman. I'm gonna do it. A bit similar to last week. I'm not gonna do Withered Armor training again on stream, but I will be doing. I need to do more Suramar. It occurred to me when I answered the question in the vlog that I don't have good Suramaritan done quests. So if I go quest Legion World quest, man. I can have the title reward, the Gullible. That sounds like a good one for me. Is it not under Legion Quest? Maybe it's under... Oh, no, there it is. So I'm like halfway, not even halfway. I have a good chunk more Suramar to do, and I'm assuming that once I've done a little bit more of it, I'll just get like a bunch of artifact power and maybe unlock that last Pet Battle World quest that hasn't come up for me, that kind of thing. But before we do that, I need to do my High Mountain Emissary because that came up today and I haven't done that quite yet. So I'm going to head out to High Mountain and get started on that. There's an add-on that everybody seems to have. There's an add-on that everybody seems to have that I don't have set up, that I haven't set up because people keep saying it's like... People keep telling me what it does. And it doesn't sound that world-changing to me. But it's this world quest tracker that people are all like, oh, it's the master plan of Legion, and it shows you how much potential artifact power is available to gather on your map, and shows you flight points that you should take to get to your next world quest, and none of that sounds like things that are that hard to do with the default UI. But maybe I need it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm gonna... You know what's probably gonna happen is I'm probably gonna download it at some point just because I'll get bored, and then I'll start using it, and then I'll go, oh man, I don't know how I did world quest without this, but for now, nothing like that. So what are we actually gonna do? Hello, Maxu. How are you doing? How are things with you today? So, I like artifact power. I don't really like doing Warden Towers, but we could do Lair. That would give us a bunch of artifact power. I could queue specific Lair. We could do... Let's see, I don't want that. I do want that, and that's not going to last for too long, so we should do that first. I'll head up to... Is that near Skyward? I think I just ride north from Thundertotem to get to that one. Let's start with that. Why do I talk so fast? It's just how fast the words come out of my mouth. I sound really weird when I try and talk more slowly. It's just how I do. I've tried. I get that a lot. But it's just kind of how it is. Hello, Durego99. How are you doing? So, Thunder Totem, and then we're going to ride north. I just saw your last video. You mentioned you were streaming later that day, and I saw the time. Yeah, handy. I like the Friday stream slot because of the Saturday vlog, because I already put on my face and I'm pretty much ready to everything's set up. I already made sure that my webcam hasn't like randomly broken, although I did have issues getting my webcam running this morning for the vlog, but I just realized I needed to reinstall the webcam driver, and it worked real good after that, so no problems, which is a bit of a relief. I've had some big issues with Logitech software before, but it worked all right. Hello, Gustavo. Resi P, it's caffeine. It actually isn't. It should be. This is just a strawberry pomegranate herbal tea. It's like the cheap stash one you can find in your grocery store. I'm mostly just drinking it because it's hot and I'm sometimes chilly. But I should have made some caffeinated tea. I should have made like some black chai or even another pot of breakfast tea because I'm so ready to go back to bed. It's like a normal thing to get sleepy again around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just have, I don't know if you can see, I've got a cat back there in the bed, and she's just like sleeps all day because she's a cat and that's what cats do. And then my dog will sleep in my office too, and I'm just looking at them like, how come both of you guys get to nap? I want to nap, but I've worked in a schedule before where I nap every day. It takes way too much time. I just end up sleeping too much, and it's just not good for me, so. Hello, Lips, how are you doing? For anybody unfamiliar, Lips is actually the creator of the, I believe it's the Total RP mod. Excellent RP add-on for people that do that kind of thing. Hi Dale Nart, what server do I play on? I play on Lightbringer. It's just a average run-of-the-mill PvE server. I think we're pretty alliance heavy, But that comes in handy when you're doing world quests and you're doing like the PvP ones because you don't have to fight too many hordes. Someone said your name right for once. That is a miracle. I'm not very good at saying names right, but I don't know. It's hard to do on the fly, so I don't know anybody that's like really good at it. Alexander says, I love that you talk fast. Most videos you watch in X2 at 25% faster speed, but you watch me at normal speed, excluding the live streams. Yeah, I feel like I would sound like an actual chipmunk if you sped me up 25%. I have a viewer that watches my vlogs that says he slows them down, and he says that's really funny because apparently the pitch of my voice changes in an amusing way when you slow me down, but the words are still at a normal speed because I talk so fast, so. You're great. You just finished a raiding night. Nice, nice. I am done raiding for the week. Our raid nights are Wednesday, Thursday, and as much as I love raiding, it feels really good to know that I don't have to raid tonight, because raid nights are just so crazy. Like, if I finish video work at 5, if I'm lucky, sometimes if I'm not done and I want to finish a thing before tomorrow, I'll work until like 6 or even 7. And then, but let's just say I finish at 5:30, and then I gotta make dinner, and that's like half an hour, depending on what I make, and then we've got to eat dinner, and that's like, it's just a lot of stuff to get done, and then raid starts at 7 and it goes right until 10, and by 10 o'clock I'm like so ready for bed. So Wednesday, Thursdays are just kind of crazy. I said we're gonna skip that one. We want to go do that. So, oh gosh, was that just a warrior? Did a warrior just scare me by heroic leaping? It made a sound. It shook my screen. I didn't realize they would do that. Same for Melganis. It's PvP world, but not a lot of ally. Yeah. I used to look at the faction balance of servers before I made a character on them. I used to target servers that had fairly even faction balance and mid-population whenever I was looking for a new server. But I've come to realize with cross-server, if you're not world PvPing, it doesn't really matter how balanced your server is. Like, it really, even if there's not very many of your faction on your server, I mean, I guess that would suck if you're looking for a raiding guild. But the only things that server really matters for are guilds, and then, even auction houses are cross-faction now. I'm going the wrong way. I don't want to do that quest. I want to do this one with the birdies. I want the harpies that, you know, go flesh and bone to earth and stone, because they're really funny. I gotta make sure my dialogue's on, because that's like my favorite part. Nice tats, thanks. Hi, Levance. Hello, how are you doing? How are things with you today? Did I have water? I got tea. I think I forgot to get water. I'm probably gonna have to refill this later. This is almost empty. I go through a lot of water. When I'm playing WoW. I can be working and just drinking a normal amount, but as soon as I'm actually settling into play WoW, for whatever reason, I drink like a lot of water and tea. Although it's pretty normal for me to go through like 3 pots of tea in a day. They're not all caffeinated tea, so it can't be that bad for me, but if there is some kind of bizarre disease that you get from drinking like really high amounts of green tea, then I'm at very high risk for that, because I drink copious amounts of green tea. But that's alright. Jail remains kind of funny too. I like that you get the same little sub-tier of NPCs. I'm gonna turn my dialogue up a little bit. I like that you get the same tier of NPCs, a little group of them, reading you your world quest dialogue. Like, it's normally the same warden lady going, you know, we've discovered a threat in this area, and there's like, that lady Jail likes to do the high mountain quests. And then you get, you know, Prince Ferrandis, giving you a lot of your Asuna quests, and sometimes you get the British Worgen lady in Val'sharah, and you kind of get a little more attached to those characters because they're constantly asking you to do stuff, and you know you're interacting with the same ones. Whereas I could not tell you the name of any NPC that I picked up a daily quest from in Wrath or Kata or Mop or whatever. Like, it's all the same people, but I don't know who they are because you just pick up the quest and you move on with your day. But when they're actually, you know, telling you about the thing in, you know, through your sound, I tend to remember it a lot more. You're doing great. Happy that I actually managed to catch your stream. Awesome. Yeah, I like this time slot. What do I do for work? Also, hi. I make YouTube videos for work. That is all I do. I spend 40 to 70 hours a week, depending on, you know, how things go. Just making YouTube videos. I am very lucky to have a husband that supports me in that. So I'm not living alone, but that's what I do. And now I stream on Fridays. So I haven't really, despite the fact that I'm talking about how world quests immerse me more in Legion because of the dialogue, I actually have no idea why I'm doing this. I wasn't listening to Jill when she was telling me about these nasty harpies. Also, I think they hotfix the harpies to not yell at you every time you aggro them, and I know it was annoying a lot of people, but I kind of miss it. I kind of miss their shriekiness. Maybe this one will say something.
The shadows guide me.
That's Zabra. I don't care about him. He's always saying the same thing. Use World Quest Tracker, way easier to see quest rewards and stuff. I was talking about that a little bit earlier in the stream, about that add-on, and I can't figure out what it's going to do for me that I can't do with the default UI. I understand it's going to present the information a little easier, but I haven't encountered like a use case where I just needed to have it yet, so come on, man. They were all evading me, but I guess somebody was pulling them up there. Maybe it was the harpies. Maybe the harpies were aggroing them. But yeah, I'll probably install that eventually, but I'm always really resistant to new add-ons until I, like, really need them. I have way too many add-ons to begin with, so. I only just got myself set up with Pawn yesterday, despite the fact that I very much need it. Now that there's so many different levels of loot, with Warforging and Titan Forging, and some things will get sockets, and, you know, whatever, like, there's no, you can't just go on to Icy Veins or Wowhead or whatever and be like, this is my best in slot list. This is my best trinket, I need this one. Because things are going to drop in all sorts of different item levels, and sometimes a lesser tier trinket might be better if it rolls with higher item level. So you really need to be dynamically checking the stat weights against what you currently have, and that's really hard math to do in your head, so that's what the pawn add-on's for. But I only really just got that set up yesterday, so I feel much better about it. It's actually really nice. It gives you a little readout on the tooltip saying this is 4% better for your shadow spec, and it's 10% better for your holy spec, or this is not good, don't roll on it, that kind of thing, which is handy because sometimes I was really slow deciding what to roll on in Raid because I didn't know what was best. But yeah, I could definitely recommend a pawn. So that's one. I want to hop up and do that. We're just prioritizing artifact power. I like the fishing one too. Fishing's good. Should I whistle or it's like right over here, but the whistle has made me so lazy. It's just so easy. It's on such a short cooldown. But I can bond with my blue bug a little bit. We can spend some quality blue bug time and walk up there. It's not that far. Hey Hazel, been watching you since Pandaria. What battle pet changes or additions would I like Blizzard to implement in the future? I don't think they should make change just for the sake of changing things. I think they have a pretty solid system. The one thing I do really want them to add, and I see why they haven't added it, but it's just kind of a thing that I want, is I want a PvP pet battle ladder with rankings and some rewards tied to being high in rated pet battle PvP. I think that would be great. I think that if you tied some incentives to that, that would make it a lot more attractive. It would make the concept of doing pet battle PvP a lot more attractive, but you may need to, if at that point, once you've added a rated ladder, you may need to make some changes to balance or even to the way PvP pet battles work to make it fair and make there an actual competitive ladder as opposed to just complete RNG, because right now pet battles are fairly random. Like, you can't, it's all about setting your team up for what you're fighting, and in PvP you intrinsically don't know what you're fighting because it's random. So then you're just kind of setting yourself up for all situations, and it's kind of a coin toss as to who's countering who. So they'd have to make some significant changes to make that a fun system. I wish they, like, and I understand that there's not a lot of resources for that kind of thing because it's a pretty small overall population of the WoW community that pet battles. But man, that would be cool, being like having like tournaments at BlizzCon and being high on the pet battle PvP ladder. I would actually hang out and do pet battles if there was more incentives for doing PvP pet battles aside from just like a pet after way too many of them. Then I might do it. In your video of your last stream, you were talking about leveling Holy Priest. You come back after about 5 months away and your guild master says we need a Holy Priest for raiding. Holy Priests are pretty fun for raid. I played a little bit of Holy in my raid last night. Am I done yet? No, not quite. I played a little bit of Holy in my raid last night, and it was fun. It was good. I think I like it better than Disc. I don't even know if Disc Priests are viable in raids. They're probably fine. They probably do really well, but I've tried it, and it just feels so clunky. Maybe it's better in raids. I only tried Disc in dungeons since Legion, but I really hate how difficult it was for me to pick up my group after, like, in between pulls, in between combat. Like, when there's nothing to damage, there's not a whole lot of healing going out. And you can still heal, but it's gross. So, 2 more. So, if I go up north and do the fishing thing, and then maybe we do, if we do Nelth Lair, that will be good, because that's, like, a lot of artifact power. That should do it. I'm pretty sure that one counts. I'm, like, 85% sure that's true. So we'll fly up and do a little bit of fishing. I'm sure my guild can use the fish mats, or you could sell them, but it would be pretty rude of me to be selling things that I fish up when my guild is sometimes providing me with food. Icy Veins, good for figuring out the relics. You faced the same problems earlier today yourself. How's Shadow and Legion so far? You haven't played yet. Shadow's actually doing very well in Legion. We're simming quite high. And in like real life scenarios, Shadow Priests tend to be top 5 or 6 in terms of specs, so we're doing very well. It's not ridiculously overpowered, but if you're good with it, it's real good. You leveled 100 to 110 as holy and it's sucked. Yeah, I don't recommend leveling as holy. Somebody in the last stream had that opinion, and while I respect other people's opinions, I don't agree. I think you are very much best off leveling as Shadow, and then setting up your holy once you're finished leveling. Icy Veins, good for figuring out relics. Yeah, Icy Veins is a good starting point. I always recommend people trying to figure out what the go-to website for their class is, though, for class info, because usually there's a third-party website specifically dedicated to that class, or sometimes the MMO champion class forums are really good. But sometimes there are better places than Icy Veins to find the most accurate information. They are not always correct. They're correct enough if you know absolutely nothing as a starting point, but they have some iffy information sometimes, depending on who wrote the guide and how up-to-date it is. They don't always keep their guides super up-to-date. At least through hotfixes and stuff. They're usually pretty good about updating for patches, so... Let's see, where is my fishing keybind? Sometimes you know what, I bumped it for my trainer potions. I'm using trainer potions for raid because the new ones are they're like 900 gold a potion. 900 gold. It's really hard to say goodbye to 2k every time you wipe on a boss in progression, and it's hard to justify using potions for non-progression bosses because you don't need them because it's not progression. It's rough. It's a rough life. It's a rough life we live in. Alright. This one is mine. Now, are these the same pools that like disappear after just one use? Because that was always annoying. So the real question here is why Zabra Hex not levitating? You're a priest. You've been a priest for a long-ass time. Surely you figured out that you don't have to swim. Can I levitate him? I can! I did not expect that to work. I did not expect him to actually come up. Alright, so will he now follow me on top of the water? Oh my god, he will. Oh man, I just got my buddy out of the sea. I thought he was gonna have to swim forever. I'm quite satisfied now. I did not think that was gonna pan out. Hi, Hazel. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Or Stannis, as it were. Purely, hello. Class and spec Discord servers are great for gear and other information. Yeah. I keep the How to Priest Discord server in my Discord tabs, and every now and then I look at what they're talking about, and I've gotten some good info from there. Really good for when you're curious about what trinkets are best, because trinkets are one thing that's really hard to get a good idea of what's best, because they don't have, it's not just raw stats over stats. You have to figure out what the effect is and how effective the effect is at all these different item levels, so it's kind of rough. You want at least a basic idea of which ones are good for your class. You agree that grind is bad? Yeah. Want to say thank you for the pet guides. 85% of your battle pets up to 25. Nice. Once you finish leveling all your pets, it's like this huge relief. I'm not finished leveling them anymore because Legion came out and there's a bunch of new pets, but feels really nice to just be able to go to a pet battle and have just all of your pets available to use on it. You don't have to adjust the strategy that you're using based on what you have. You can just use whatever you have, which is everything, presumably. It was nutty. You kept signing in with all this regret. But it was like, you know, there's always endgame. Yeah. Legion leveling was fun the first time. And you'd think that it would have all of this replayability because you can level in any order, and you can level with a friend, and it doesn't matter what order you're doing the zones are, or if you're the same level. But after you've played a bit of Legion endgame, you go to start leveling, and you realize I've done these world quests 150 times. It was so funny, they said in some kind of interview at some point, they're like, there's over 1,000 world quests, which is probably true. And they're like, you're not going to see the same one for months, because there are so many of them. And, I mean, we can all probably attest to how silly that is. Oh, that one, there's still more fish in there. And once you've done the world quest, you know, for a month or two, you realize these are the exact same things. These are the exact same things that we did when we were leveling. So you level another character, and you're like, I've been here. Which, on one hand, is kind of nice, because you know where everything is, and there's no confusion about how to get to anything or where your stuff is, but you've seen it all before. Let's see here. Two more fish. Two more fishies. You're able to jump straight into raids without having to do anything else. Nice. Hello, Eric. How are you? Oh, my pool's gone. No downtime because you have to keep grinding so the game didn't get boring. Late Fridays, gotta go. Fun watching the stream. We'll check in another time. Thanks for stopping by. The VOD's gonna go up tomorrow morning for this, so if any of you come in late, or only saw part of it, or want to see the rest of it, or want to watch it again for some bizarre reason, it'll be up on YouTube, just like last week's was, and that'll be tomorrow morning. Probably around 9. Probably keep it on an even schedule with the videos that I put out. I try and get them out 9 a.m. Pacific. Mondays might be not 9 a.m. Pacific, because Monday's video is actually not ready yet. I got really put behind this week by the issues I had with my computer and then with my editing software. But I'm pretty sure, I'm like 75% sure I've smoothed that out right now. Premiere was really nice to me today when I was editing the vlog, so I'm really hoping that it was just a bizarre codec issue that I have somehow fixed, and that it's not going to keep crashing on me, because I had a bad couple of days. So, one more. Let's do a heroic Nelth Lair. So, oh man, I was going to say we could put together a group, but if I healer queue for it, look at all the stuff I'm going to get. I like stuff. Also, I'm gonna take the satchel because I'm almost out of augment runes, and I do like popping those. Look at all this stuff. I'm almost out of augment runes, and I do enjoy popping augment runes for progression. Feels pretty good. You have 8 110s on the 9th. You don't want to do shit anymore. 8 110 sounds so rough, but it's if you have that many characters and you're planning on playing them during the expansion, it's not a bad idea just to level them to get their artifact research started. Because you know that's going to take a long time to stack up, and that's all you really have to do on an alt to keep it more or less in a good spot at least. So, I see why you did it. I commend your bravery. I can't do it myself. Oh, food. Gimme. Excellent. So I set myself up with mouse over macros before raid last night, so I don't actually have to click on these things to heal right now, which is nice. And this is just a heroic, so hopefully these people can do some damage, and we'll get this done reasonably quickly. Although it occurs to me, I was supposed to do Nelth Lair. This ain't Nelth Lair. I completely forgot that I was gonna solo or single queue, and that I can't get the satchel if I'm gonna single queue. I completely forgot that. So after this random heroic Vault of the Wardens, we'll see what I get in my satchel. And after that, I'm going to put together a group for heroic Nelth Lair, and I'm going to do that in the group finder, so if any of you are still around and you have NA WoW accounts and you're at least item level 810, although preferably a little higher, but at least 810, you can sign up for that, and we'll get a group together to do Nelth Lair. I will be DPSing, though. There's only so many times I can heal in a day before I can't do it anymore. I'm not cut out for PvE healing. I can do it. I hate it. It makes me so sleepy. And I already kind of want a nap. You're significantly torn between leveling another alt, pet battles, and Overwatch. Aw man, another alt sounds scary. Of that list, Overwatch sounds like the most fun. I'm really hoping that they do an Overwatch Halloween event. Like they did the Summer Games. It would be so cute if they did a spooky Halloween one with like Halloween costumes for the characters. I don't know if they're going to do it, but that would be so cool. And it would probably get me to take some time off of WoW to play a little Overwatch, just because it's so hard to let that just pass by. Not that I have any time to take off of WoW, I'm barely putting any time into WoW, but I love Overwatch, and I love a good excuse to play some, because it's just such a fun thing to like unplug your brain and just do really casually. I'm sure there's a lot of people that take Overwatch very seriously and are not playing casually at all, but for me it's just like a super casual thing. I just go and play my favorite heroes, and I hang out with my friends, and I shoot people, and I usually miss because I have terrible aim. And dear lord, this is a lot of trash. I'm gonna Guardian Spirit that guy. It's gonna pop. What other buttons can I press here that'll make this better? There we go. We're doing okay, we're doing okay. Alright, they killed most of it. Thankfully, these rogues are... Actually, all of these people are just chopping this stuff up, so... We're okay. Oh, there's more. There's more. Somberson? Oh god, I hope so. How long have they been teasing that for? Such a long time. I'll definitely check it out again for that when they release that. I very much enjoyed Anna, and I'm interested to see what other things they add. So the add-on that changes my cast bar. Sorry, I'm a little behind on messages. The add-on that changes my cast bar is Gnosis. That is spelled Gnosis. Has a lot of options. And the reason I was using it was because back... I don't so much need it anymore, but back in Warlords, it was very important to... And I guess it still is. It lets you see your ticks of Mind Flay, so that should you need to cancel a Mind Flay mid-cast, you can do so after a damage tick, so you're not wasting partial channels Like you wanna, if you have to cancel it halfway through, you wanna do so right after a damage tick goes out, so that you're not wasting time. If that makes any sense, and having that on your cast bar makes that 1,000 times easier. And like back when I was streaming every day, my voice was like cut out for talking constantly for hours, and I must have lost whatever muscle it was that let me do that, because my voice can't. I'm gonna sound progressively froggier, and it's okay because I have tea. But like we're gonna figure this out. But oh my goodness. Do you prefer ally? Yep, absolutely. I've played Horde before. I spent pretty much all of Mop. Yeah, I spent all of Mop as Horde. I played an undead, I played a Troll Druid and then an undead Warlock. That was before I found out how cool Shadow Priests were. But, I always prefer being Alliance. I'm wearing my Alliance shirt. Hold up a minute. Don't you have a different transmog before starting the dungeon? Different transmog. Yeah, I did. So, I was a Shadow Priest while questing the world, and Shadow's my main. But you can actually set up spec-specific transmogs, so as soon as I changed to Holy for, healing, it put on my Holy transmog, which is like this blue butterfly set that I've got going on here. So, yeah. It's like my favorite thing about transmog and Legion is that I don't have to look like a Shadow Priest when I just switch to Holy to heal a dungeon or whatever. It's great. Oh dear, oh dear. I zoomed in too far, now I can't see. Alright, we're okay. Oh god, there's my zoom out. There it is. That was terrifying. I almost got myself killed there. That would have been embarrassing. Only on stream. Thoughts on Rogues and Legion? Very good PvE damage. From what I hear, they were kind of uncomfortably overpowered in PvP, but they've been toned down now in the hotfixes. But they're very strong all around. Outlaw Rogues in particular doing crazy damage because they haven't figured out how to balance Roll the Bones. Like, if Roll the Bones just does average damage, then it's going to feel like you're doing crappy damage most of the time, and then when you get good rolls, you're doing good damage. So instead, they've tuned it so when you get average rolls, you're doing average damage, and then if you get lucky enough to get a good roll, you do amazing damage. So it averages out to be just too strong. And I think that's going to be a consistent problem all throughout Legion, because they're not going to can that whole mechanic until Legion is over. Like, I don't think they're going to backpedal on that or the Surrender to Madness thing until 8.0. At which point I have a good feeling that they're going to step back on those talents. But until then, I think they're just going to be strong, because that's just, it's hard. Like, you can't, if you make it not good, then it's just, I don't know. I have a hard time explaining that thought, but I think Rogues are in a very good place, and they'll continue to be good for most of Legion. In PvE, yeah, very good in raiding. We have at least one, if not two, Rogues, but our guild leader's a Rogue, and he always does chart-topping deeps. Hey, Khalifa, what's up? Smooth, yeah. Why did I zoom in? Oh yeah, I was showing you guys my transmog. I can do that again. I always match my transmog to whatever color my artifact weapon is. So I got this cool blue artifact weapon appearance, and I was like, oh yeah, I'd better. My gloves don't match. I've got weird Draenor fur in my hands. But I was like, yeah, give me some of the blue stuff. Oh, elevator. Can't miss that. Thank you for the insights. No problem. That's what we're here for. Oh. His tea would have been much better with like some honey, which probably would have helped. Look at all the time you save by jumping down. Tea would have been much better with some honey, but it's okay. Maybe later. Maybe later I'll do some like honey lemon ginseng. Alright, this boss. Maybe my least favorite dungeon boss. It's okay on heroic, like they're gonna shred things fast enough that it's not a big deal. And it's actually not that bad to heal, because you can actually just, I don't need to be facing my target in order to heal them. So I can just look at the eyeball 100% of the time without having to swivel my character around to avoid getting disoriented by the eyeball. But still really annoying fight, especially when Sap Soul is like a guarantee like it is on Mythic. Alright, so there's the orb. I'm just going to look at it. And I can just kind of do this and it's not going to be a problem. Apparently a big problem for all those guys. Oh gosh, I'm going to get triple exploding in a second here, so I'm just going to stand way over here. I would like to dispel that, but I'll let them stagger. Dispelling all three of those at once might have been kind of gross. Oh, and I forgot to, after all my big talk about not needing to get disoriented, I forgot to turn around and look at the eyeballs. I don't remember how many augment runes you get from the satchel. It might be just one. That'll be kind of disappointing. Although now that LFR is out, I guess that's a valid source of them as well. Maybe I should be doing some LFR. I have not done LFR since it came out. I've been doing... my guild's been clearing normal. Oh dear. My guild has been clearing normal. But that's about it. Or no, sorry, normal and then heroic. Of course, we're 4 of 7 heroic. So I haven't really felt the need to go do it on a 3rd difficulty because I feel like 2 is probably enough. I feel like this button... I need to be pressing perm bending more often. I'm not a super crazy good healer. I'm okay. I can press my buttons. And I keep forgetting that I have mouse over macro set up too. I'm clicking to change targets, but I don't need to. Alright, he's down. We're cool. We're cool for the summer here. Where's that guy? No. Too far away. Did he fall down the hole? He tripped. I don't know if I can res him down there. Oh, he's gonna run back. Okay, cool. See, this guy says he's the worst boss in the history. Wow, he agrees with me. Not a fan of Tormentor. But the rest of this dungeon is super easy after that. I used to really hate Cordana because of the light mechanic, and then I realized the light mechanic's actually really easy. Ah, he did the same thing. Hi, Phantom Evil. How are you doing? I used to, like, whenever I got blue loot, I used to, like, inspect every other person in the group of my same armor type and check to see if they needed it and then offer it to them. And at this point in the expansion, I'm just like, you know, people, like, not a lot of people have much better than 825s by now. I don't think anybody really needs much, and if they do, they can ask. But I've moved past my benevolent stage of just offering stuff to people. If I get like a really good thing, like a big like 850 purple or something drops, then maybe if I don't need it, but not so much with the blues. I don't really understand the purpose of the named like mini boss mobs. They put them in, there's a couple of them in the raid, like that dragon before the dragons. And there's some in the dungeons, but they're not really previewing the abilities of the next boss. They don't really have special abilities at all. They just take like a really long time to kill. They're not skippable. They don't have lore. They don't have dialogue. They're just kind of big meaty meat shields with a name. And I guess that's better than meaty meat shields without a name, but I don't know. A little confusing to me. They used to make a big deal out of having trash that had similar abilities to the boss it was leading up to, but they've kind of somewhat laid off that in dungeons. They still do it in raids. Can you email me some of your quirky cheerfulness? That's sweet. If I could, I would, because it doesn't sound like it would be very expensive to do, but I don't know if it works like that. Add-on for that, personal loot helper tells me when somebody can trade an item for someone else with an item level upgrade. Man. There's an add-on for everything. If I was doing heroic dungeons all day long, then I would probably get that. And you know, I probably should be doing heroic dungeons all day long because, I don't have a legendary yet. I don't have mine. Oh god, I'm just gonna leave the mirrors alone because I'm so bad. You know, it's gonna... So the one next to him needs to hit him? Is that it? I should turn the... It's got to go a different way. It's got to go that way, right? No? Yeah? Okay. Alright, cool. I helped! I always ruin it. They've always get them set, like everybody else, no matter if I'm in pug or what, everybody else always gets them set up correctly. And for whatever reason, my brain just can't figure out... My brain can't figure out the mirror trajectory, and I ruin it. Like, I try and help, so I start clicking on mirrors, and I'm clicking them the wrong way, and I'm just like, Hazel, stop. Don't touch it. No touch. Bad touch. Excuse me. Pardon me. So I just leave them alone now. I think once somebody explained to me that the two mirrors that are close together are the ones that have to hit him in the butt, it made a little bit more sense to me. I don't know. My current item level. 857 holy. I believe I'm 861 in my shadow set. Oh god, we're going this way. I believe I'm 861 for my shadow set. It's just that my holy weapon does not have as good artifacts as my shadow one because I haven't been putting a lot of effort into it. Also, my holy weapon's only level 13 because this is super, super non-committed off-spec. I don't even have good healing trinkets. Maybe I should put on my healing trinket. I've got this little 810 egg that I got from Corn Dire Brew. That, I guess it's better. I'd almost rather have, like, this big pile of crit. Hello, adventurer. Greetings. Flabby? Yeah. I left a comment in your last video about your PC specs. Would you be able to look at it after the stream? If you just ask your question here, it's a lot more likely that I'm gonna get to it. A lot of comments that are not on vlogs. I do try and read them all, but I miss a lot of them. So if you can just ask me your question here, I can probably fill you in. Would be a lot faster. If we had a lust, I think it, no, we do have a lust, we just already used it. I was gonna say we could probably just like pop the thingy right away, but I'll probably wait until like 60%. Favorite tea? Favorite tea? I'm very much a match my tea to my occasion kind of person. I will get in a variety of tea moods, and of course morning is always about the English breakfast tea, and then, you know, late morning is all about the green tea, and then afternoon is about the herbal tea, and then very late night or after a meal is about the mint tea. But my favorite tea? I had one, and it wasn't really my favorite because it was like super delicious. I thought it was pretty good, but it was a stash blend that was literally called Christmas morning tea, and one of my friends had given it to me, and I was probably like 11, maybe 10. And I was like, well, this is great. I can have this on Christmas morning, but only on Christmas morning. My mom's like, you know, it's probably not going to be good for that many years, and I refused to listen to her. So I had this box of tea, and it was like 20 tea bags. And every year on Christmas morning, I would wake up early and make myself a cup or a pot of Christmas morning specific tea. And I think I replaced it after like 4 years or so because, you know, cheap box tea is not supposed to sit on the shelf that long. And I loved that tea because it meant it was Christmas, and it was like my favorite ritual. Because I mean, once you're past like 10 or 11 years old, you're too old to be getting your parents out of bed. Like, they just want to sleep in. Did that guy just stealth past me? Whoops. That's right. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. Whoopsies. My bad. Was not looking where I was going. Also, there's 2 rogues, and I keep forgetting that I can't stealth. Stealth like a cool kid. But yeah, at that age you're too old to be getting your parents out of bed, but it's still Christmas and it was still super exciting, so I still wanted to get up early. And my parents would let me open my stocking early in the morning, but I had to wait until after breakfast to open like any under the tree presents. So I'd get up early and open my stocking with my sister and have that tea. And it was just like a really nice thing to do. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. I should get some for next year, but I don't know if it would be quite the same. Do you main Holy or Shadow? Absolutely Shadow. I don't really know what I'm doing with Holy. I know what the buttons do. I press them to try and help people not die, but that's all I got. I'm not even spec'd right for Shattered, honestly. I was stacking crit because I was convinced that crit was the best stat for me. And for the spec that I'm setting up in Shadow, which is Surrender to Madness rating spec, you need taste. Crit was not correct. I just misinformed myself. And I'm extra certain that crit is particularly bad. Maybe it's not bad, but I don't think crit's particularly good for Holy Priest, so I'm not set up for it, and I'm alright. I have both separate macros. That makes me feel pretty special. I tried to press my dispersion button to get out of there, and I can't disperse. But yeah, I rated Shadow. So she bought another PC. I did not buy a PC. I reformatted my PC. And prior to that, about a week before that, I rebuilt my PC in a new case with a new power supply to try and fix the issue. It turns out that actually wasn't what it was. But I did do that last week, and then earlier, mid this week, I reformatted. But the reformat seemed to fix my issue, so it seems we're working fine now. Oh, link to my PC specs and maybe an approximate cost. Oh, okay. So, I used to have my PC specs written out somewhere. I don't know if I do anymore. If they're not in the info section of my channel, then I can just say them to you here, but approximate cost for my PC as it is would have been like $1,500, maybe like $1,700. 4, 8. Yeah, once you factor in Windows, it's in that $1,500-$1,600-ish range. Do I have it on my channel info? I can check right now. Channel info about section. I don't. Okay. So, I built this originally 3 years ago, so some of the parts are a little bit old, but I have an i7 4770. I have 16 gigs of RAM in there, but it's only 1833 megahertz DDR3 RAM. I've got some G-Skill. I think they're old Ripjaws. I would like to get some faster RAM, especially because I'm having a hard time. I have them set up with the XMP Intel profile in my BIOS, but they don't seem to be running much faster than like 1333, and I'd really like to get at least 1800 out of them. But anyways, 16 gigs of 1800 megahertz RAM. I have a 256 gigabyte SSD, and that has Windows and most of my software on it, including WoW. And then I have a 2 terabyte, 7200 RPM Seagate hard drive that is storage for videos that I'm working on, and software that I don't use very often. I have a Corsair H100i water cooling. I'm pretty sure I have the H100. Maybe it's the H80, but I'm pretty sure it's the 100, which is about $100 for water cooling. Very, very effective. Highly recommend. Pretty quiet, too. I have... what else? The motherboard's an Asus Z87 Plus. The graphics card is an NVIDIA GTX 770. I would very much like to upgrade that to a 1070, but I've been putting it off because it's like another $400 that I don't need to spend right now. And then Windows 10. Trying to think. Did I miss anything? It's a Corsair power supply. I recently updated it to an 850 watt, 80 plus gold standard, so fairly nice power supply. Before that I had a 750 watt. I don't really need more than 650, but I like to overkill it on the power supply just in case I ever decide to get into bigger overclocking, because I could overclock my processor if I wanted to. I'm lazy though. Windows was the problem? Sounds about right, yeah. I think there was some kind of wonky... I think it may have had to do with my graphics drivers, and no matter how many times I wiped and reinstalled the latest version of my graphics driver, Windows just wouldn't work properly. But for whatever reason, the reformat fixed it. So there was something strange going on, and it seems to be better now. So that's good. I'm really glad it's not my motherboard, because I really was not looking forward to having to rebuild the damn thing. I was having some really bad problems yesterday and the day before with Premiere, with Adobe Premiere editing. That did not want to work post-reformat, and I couldn't figure out what kind of software it needed to work properly. I downloaded QuickTime for it, I downloaded video codecs, I downloaded all of the updates. I actually purchased the new version of Elements. I upgraded from Elements 11 to 15 because I thought maybe 11 is just not compatible with Windows 10. And no matter what, it just wouldn't stop crashing on me, and it wasn't even giving me error messages. It was just like, no, I don't want to open your files, and I don't want to edit this, and I don't like you, so leave me alone. And it would just shut down. But after a certain point, it just kind of stopped happening, so I'm just hoping that I downloaded the correct codecs and it's decided it's happy now. Because I don't want to have to buy another editor. But I think I'm on the green side. I think I'm on the grassy, positive, sunny green side of all of my issues. And that'll be really nice once I'm a little more confident that my stuff's gonna work, because it's just so stressful. Like, I get really upset, like uncharacteristically upset, when I make a plan for how I want to spend a certain amount of time, and then something happens to interrupt that. So if, like, I made a plan with a friend, and that friend canceled on me last minute for, like, no good reason, that would very much upset me. And if I, like, say, I'm gonna work from 11 to 12 p.m. on this video, I'm gonna write the script and make the thumbnail, and then I go to do that, or I'm gonna edit all this footage that I record, and I go to do that, my editor's not working, it just ruins my whole day, because I had it set up in my head, I had it visualized, I knew what was gonna happen, and I don't like improvising. So it's just been a really rough week, but I think we're on the bright side of it. I'm just gonna chill out this weekend and play some WoW and hang out with my husband and, like, eat pizza. I think we're gonna get pizza. And it's all gonna be okay. Is CPU overclocked? Absolutely not. Oh, the case. I replaced the case. I put it all in a new case. It was in a NZXT Phantom, but I have now moved it into a brand new Fantex Enthoo, which is not a budget, but like a mid-level ATX case. A very nice case. It was a real joy to build in. I liked it a lot. I could definitely recommend that one for the money. Excellent case, lots of room. Really nice cable management options. It's got a nice side panel window, and it looks a little more grown up than the Phantom. The Phantom was a nice case, but it was kind of 2011. It looked a little bit tacky, and this new one is nice and understated. You would overclock yours, but turbo won't fit in the case. Of course, it's a car turbo. Yeah. I don't like overclocking unless I'm really having a performance issue. I'd rather just buy the hardware that's going to do the job without overclocking it, because I want to get more longevity out of it, but that's just me. Build it yourself or buy a prepackaged. I build it myself. I haven't bought a prepackaged PC since 2007, 2008. Just because once I worked in the computer shop for a bit. I sold computers, and I also occasionally helped on the bench, like fixing them and watched them get built. And once I realized how easy all of that was, it didn't make sense to me to buy a pre-built PC, because a lot of times, depending on who makes it, of course, a lot of times pre-built PCs will cut costs on parts that people don't recognize the brand name of. Like, they'll put a big name graphics card in there because people know to look for that GTX 980 or whatever. But then they'll use like a really cheap motherboard, or maybe they'll cheap out on the RAM or the power supply or like whatever, because if they want to save money, they want margin. And building it yourself really lets you custom pick each component of your PC and make sure that you're not getting ripped off on any individual part of it. Assuming that you got good prices for your stuff, of course. Nice gear. You just bought a Zoo Storm secondhand mince maker. Been off WoW since that WoD started. Killed it. Happy you're back in the WoW fold. Yeah. Legion has brought a lot of people back. I don't know if, like, I've heard that Blizzard is not standing by that thing that Tom Chilton said in that interview when he said that there were 10 million players subscribed. I still think it's true. I think that sounds correct based on how many people I know that have come back and how much my personal guild is swollen and how much I've just seen more people being active in the overall community. I think there's a lot of people that came back to WoW, and I think that's cool. I think Legion's in a good spot. It's not perfect, but I think it's good. I'm pretty happy. There's always things that we can improve about WoW, but for the most part, it's a damn good game. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. I'm going to check to see what is in my satchel. Your hubby play? He does. Yes, he is my guild's fire mage, and he is always chopping the charts. He's not like 3rd or 4th in the charts. He is on the top of the charts for almost every fight. Are you still using the Merc keyboard? I have one. I don't use it, really. I mean, I type on it if I have to type something, but I have, this guy. I have a Orb Weaver, and this is, mechanical razor. It's an Orb Weaver Stealth, so it's a mechanical keypad, and I use that for my combat key bindings in conjunction with my lovely Logitech G600 mouse. So, I am Shadow again, and I still haven't done Neltharion because I completely dropped the ball on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a group. We're doing Heroic Neltharion. Easy stuff. Heroic Neltharion. The group title is going to be Hi, I'm Hazel. We're not doing voice chat. I'm going to say minimum idle. Let's squeak that up to 825. That makes me sound like a douche. 815. But I'm going to list here, we are looking for 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 DPS. If you are playing on North America, you're welcome to sign up for this group. I will be prioritizing higher item level entrants for this, just because we want a smooth run, and then once we have a full group, we're going to queue up and hopefully knock Neltharion out really quick, because there is a world quest for it, and I need the artifact power. Also, it's going to finish my high mountain thing. So anybody that would like to do that, we have a demon hunter here. I also have no way of verifying, because I didn't set up a password or anything. I have no way of verifying that these people are part of the stream, but it's weird. You'd think that somebody wouldn't join a random group, find a group that doesn't say anything about the content you're doing, but it does. People do. So, 1 more DPS spot, 1 tank, 1 healer. And then if it's been like, let's say, if we go another 5 minutes, so until 3:54, and we haven't filled the group, then we're just gonna random queue. You wish you could get your wife to play, but she doesn't game. Yeah, it's not for everybody, but everybody has a hobby, and as long as you respect each other's hobbies, then it's fine. Alright, so 1 spot for a healer and 1 spot for a tank, and if we do not get one in the next couple of minutes, then we're just gonna random queue. Watching the stream? Cool, cool. First time you've seen your live stream, but you've been following since the baby battleground videos? Yeah. I thought about finishing the Warrior series, because before the Legion beta, I was doing the baby Warrior battleground series, and we made it up to like 79 or something like that. But I can't stomach taking the time to level through those last like 30 levels while there's so much to do in Legion. Legion's just killed alts for me. I got my Resto Druid leveled up, and that was a big deal. I got my Restorator leveled up, and that took a lot of time. And she's just sitting there getting artifact power. I do the Battlegrounds on her for that Battleground series, but that's almost all that I play. So we're looking for one healer. One healer, and then we're ready to queue up for Heroic Neltharion. Poor Oceanics, yeah. Shaman's too low, only 810, and a Horde. Yeah, the Horde's gonna be a problem. You are Hazel, you are famous, people join a group with that name just because it's you. But not everybody knows who Hazel is. I used to do this on my Twitch streams for Battlegrounds. I used to fill Battleground groups like this. And people would join it, and they'd be like, who's Hazel? And I'm like, me. And they're like, okay. But they had no idea that there was a stream because I didn't, like, say it was a stream, but people will just join random group finder groups that actually want to do the content, but they don't know much more about it than that, and that's fine. That's what the group finder's for. When will you level your DK to 110? I don't know if there needs to be any more Death Knights in the world. I mean, I feel like Wadiator Percuno's pretty much got Death Knighting covered. For anybody unfamiliar, Death Knight is the... Oh, never mind. It's like... for anybody unfamiliar, Death Knight is the only ult that I do not have at level 100. I have one of everything at level 100 except for Death Knight, because I don't really have an interest in Death Knights. It just doesn't tickle my tickle spot, you know? There's always one. There's always one. And so we're going to give it another 3 minutes or here or so, and if at that point we're just going to queue up. But if there's any healers watching that play on North America Alliance that would like to heal a Heroic Neltharion, feel free to sign up for the Hi, I'm Hazel group. And we'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. And this will be my last. This will be, I believe, I could get a legendary from the bosses. I could get a legendary from the emissary cache. It just like, how many bosses are in Neltharion? 4 or 5? There's so many chances. It's got to happen. I watched so many guildies get legendaries last night in raid, and none of them were me. And I know a lot of people are in similar situations, but also one of our demon hunter in the guild got his 2nd legendary. He got his 2nd one, and there's so many of us that haven't had one. And I know it's not supposed to be fair. And if there was a fairness system, it would feel pretty silly and artificial. And a lot of people complained about the Warlord's legendary ring and the Mop legendary cloak because it was too easy mode and it was like a free legendary for casuals and whatever. People complained about that because they wanted the legendary to feel epic. And now you can still, everybody can still have legendaries, but they're rare, which would make them feel more special. And I'm sure they would feel special if I had one, but because there's no way to work towards it. Even with like the Dragon Wrath, Terragos's Rest, is that what it was called? The Firelands legendary staff? Or like things like that where there was like a raid system. Okay, we're just gonna queue up at this point. We're gonna delist, queuing up. Dungeon Finder, specific dungeons, Heroic Nelth Lair. I'm the damager. I'm doing the deeps. Even if you're doing one of those long raid things where only one member of your raiding guild would get it, at least you either knew you were working towards it or you weren't. Or if you're eligible for that legendary, you maybe know, I'm 3rd on the list to get that staff, and you know when at least you're going to start progressing towards it, whereas this could happen, could not happen, could never happen, who knows. And there was supposed to be bad luck protection, but if there is bad luck protection on this legendary, it's either so low, it's so low that it doesn't feel like it's there at all. Like, I don't know how many heroics you have to do to be guaranteed a legendary. Supposedly there's a hidden number, but who knows? Who knows? Stream delay's throwing me off? Yeah. There should be between a 15 and 20 second stream delay, and it's just how it works. I can set it to have a lower stream delay, but it can sometimes cause buffering issues, and I'd rather have a smoother stream. So I should probably go Shadow Crash. I'm not going to do all the damage ever, just because you guys are just going to annihilate all this trash. Shadow Priest does really well on sustained cleave. There's 2 or 3 things that are up for like a long period of time. You cracks as well, please. Yep. /I. Yep. We're here for the quest, so it'll be good to get that boss done. All right. I have people from the stream in my group now. I can't let them down. I gotta do all the sad damage that I have access to, which is not very much. You know they buffed Mindseer? Doesn't feel like it. It still feels like the saddest Mindseer. I'm not even Mindseering, I'm just like complaining to them. Excuse me. Hello from Finland. Hi from Finland. Welcome from Oregon, I guess I'm in. I am currently in Oregon. Man, the internet's weird. It's crazy that you can just do that. Alright, so time for the shadow crash. I will check up in chat in just a sec here. Your 8-year-old daughter will be mad you were streaming and she wasn't home. Your daughter really watched me? That's actually super cute. I never really think of children watching me. I don't really know any children in my life right now. My sister's probably gonna have kids at some point now that she's married and she's like really excited about starting a family, but I haven't known any kids since my brother was a baby. And yeah, it's really cool. Tips on Resto Druid rotation. You leveled it to main, but you played Holy Paladin for years, and before you deleted it, you feel clunky. Okay. I only really know about Resto Druiding from PvP. I will say that you don't be too shy about your Iron Bark. If you spec into it, you get it back every minute, and if not, I believe it's every minute and a half, which is more often than you think. So don't be shy about throwing that on somebody that's taking spike damage. As far as actual rotation, you wanna immediately get 3 hots on somebody because that's when your mastery kicks in and maxes out. Once you have 3 hots on one target, you're gonna get the maximum mastery bonus. So you want to at least get to that point. So basically, you know, you do your regrowth, you do your rejuve, and then if you've taken germination, then you do another rejuve, and maybe a life bloom. So it's just getting your hots up on somebody. Oh god, am I gonna be stuck here? Oh no, I can probably swim underneath. Get your hots up on somebody, and then I can res. And at that point, just get your hots on other people. And if somebody has all of your hots on them and they're still going down, that's when you can kind of start spamming either healing touch or regrowth, depending on what they need. But yeah, I don't have any wisdom to compare it to Holy Paladins because Holy Paladin is the one healing spec I never really played. I'm pretty sure I've played every other healing spec, but Holy Paladin's always weirded me out because it's like, it's a plate where, how do you heal and wear pants? Like, I know you don't have to wear pants as a Holy Paladin, but it's just like this dissonance in my mind. If I am playing an agility character, I must wear pants. If I am playing an intellect character, I must wear a skirt. And it's just like the way of the universe for me. And if I'm wearing a plate, if I'm playing plate, of course, I also do pants. Like, I can't do the plate skirt thing for tanking characters. Like, it's a great mog, I can't wear it myself. And I also can't heal or do intellect DPS in pants. It's just this weird, bizarre complex I have. So Holy Paladins really weirded me out because they are intellect, so I would want to wear the skirt. But they're also plate. Just messes me up. Brain can't comprehend. Computer fixed? I hope so. It has been behaving itself remarkably well ever since I reformatted it. It hasn't had a shutdown or root issue. So I'm hoping so. I'm having some software problems with my editing software, but I think I fixed that too. I spent like a day and a half on it. I had an awful day yesterday with that. I had to call Adobe. I had to go on the phone with Adobe phone support because I wanted to upgrade to the newer version of my software. I wanted to buy Premiere Elements 15. And in order to give them my money to pay for this new software, I needed to change the country of my account because the last time I bought Adobe software, I was in Canada. So I had a Canadian account, needed to change it to America. You would think you could just do that on the website, but no, I had to call them. Not to give them any kind of identifying information, but just to have an actual person do it for me. Like, they didn't check that I was me at all. They just had me dictate my billing address and tell them to change my country. And then I finally get that done, and I finally get the new software ordered, and I downloaded and installed, and then it doesn't work either. It's having the exact same problem. And the first time I called Adobe phone support, I didn't even, like, I ended up, because you know, like those phone menus that you use, they're like, press 1 to deal with this, and press 2 to deal with this. And I go through like 6 layers of that, and it's like, okay, press 3 if you want to talk about Premiere Elements. And I'm like, great, that's my software, maybe you can help me. And I press that button, and they're like, I'm sorry, we don't offer phone support for Premiere Elements. Have you tried going to www.adobe.com? And then it hung up on me, and I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. And I called back, and I managed to get a person to finally fix my problem. But, oh my gosh, I was, like, so behind, and so frustrated, and kind of hungry, and just not having it. And I couldn't believe that their phone support hung up on me. Who does that? You used to cast water walking on your buddies when you were falling, sudden stop at the bottom. I've known more than one Death Knight to do that with Path of Frost, to just kill people at the bottom of drops like that. I can save myself because I have Levitate, so I try and keep an eye out for any unexpected water walking buffs so that my Shaman and Death Knight friends don't try and murder me. How do you heal and wear pants? Hazel 2016. Like, I don't want to say that people shouldn't or can't do it. If you have healing mog that is pants, or you have plate or agility mog and that's a skirt, and you like it like that, you do you, boo-boo. Like, you follow your heart. If you feel like you look good, you play good, you know? But I can't do it. It's not for me. Firm believer in a good mog increase your DPS, obviously. I can't do good damage unless I feel fabulous, and maybe that's why I'm doing okay right now. But maybe that's why I didn't do amazing last night. I did pretty good. I actually did quite well on Xavius, I think, but I've been wearing this mog ever since Legion came out. I haven't had time to go and farm up a brand shiny new mog. I need to like design a nice new transmog and get it locked in. And I haven't sorted that out, so I don't feel like I look good enough in my priest. Like, this mog is fine. I'll show you guys after this dungeon. I'll show you what my Shadow Priest is wearing up close. It's kind of hard to tell when you're purple with like tentacles spreading out of your shoulders, but this mog's fine. But man, I can do better. I know I can do better. That's actually a video series that I've kind of wanted to do for a while. Like, if I ever run out of videos to make, I have all these transmog outfits that I like put together that aren't necessarily sets, but use parts of some sets and parts of other sets, but still coordinate based on like shapes or colors or whatever. And I could make videos that just like show off those sets in like a fashion show, but then show you where to actually get the shit. And then like a matching pet probably and mount for like a full aesthetic. Like, those would be fun videos to make. They're very low on the list because there's a lot of other videos I'd rather make first, but that's something you could probably expect to see eventually on my channel. Hard to find any good mog that's robes for being a balanced druid. You don't want to wear pants, damn it. I feel ya. My Resto Druid only has like 3 sets that I like because there's not that much. The PvP sets are a real lifesaver because pretty much every Resto Druid and sometimes Balanced Druid PvP set has robes. So if you can get some of the PvP transmog, that's where the good stuff is for druids. I found all of my transmog sets for my druids come from. Actually, my new one might actually be tier 11, but most of my transmog for my druids have come from PvP sets because it's just so good. It's such good stuff. You just wore a cup as a pally. It was nice to get hit and have decent survival rate over the druid gear now that you're getting spanked hard in PvP. Yeah, that's life. PvP's been hitting me pretty hard too, but that's because my gear's garbage on my druid. Less clothing, more DPS. That's true. I never understood people that like slut shame a WoW character for not wearing enough clothes. Like, for starters, your WoW mog has nothing to do with how you dress in real life. Secondly, even if it did, it doesn't matter. And thirdly, slut mog is fun. Like, I like, it's fun. I don't find it objectifying at all because you choose what you get to mog. Like, if you don't want to wear slut mog, that's totally fine. There's a lot of stuff for you to choose, and then if you want to dress like Princess Leia in a gold bikini, you can do that too, and I like that there's choices. Choices and options, always good. Is the Emerald Dreamcast coming back? You haven't finished all the podcasts. You don't know if this was answered in the last episode. No. We ended rather unexpectedly, and we're not coming back. Me and Joe, pretty good friends, but we had a difference in vision for where we wanted to take the podcast, and that difference in vision caused us to eventually decide to discontinue it because we wanted different things for it. We wanted to go in different directions, and we couldn't reconcile what needed to be done. I have no idea which one it is, by the way. You guys are attacking this one, so I'm going to assume you're right. We basically just couldn't find a solution that worked for both of us, so we decided to end the project, which was unfortunate, but it's fine. I'm open to doing another podcast again in the future, but right now I just have so much to do with work, and I really like the fact that my YouTube channel is mine, and it's just me. I like having full creative control over it. because I can just make decisions and not have to run them by anybody, and it just makes things a lot simpler. So I'm probably just going to be focusing on my solo stuff for now. Open to it again in the future, but no more Emerald Dreamcast, unfortunately. Ooh, but for outfit of the day, but for WoW, yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing. Although probably not every day. I'd probably do like one a week if I eventually got that series running, but that would be pretty far future. There I go. 99 KY in the group. Oh, you're the Demon Hunter. It's, he didn't squish me on that fight, but he's been squishing me pretty consistently on Trash. Demon Hunters do such good cleave. Our guild's Demon Hunter is always just, like, exploding in cleave damage whenever we do dungeons. Gloves. Alright, those weren't for me. Okay, cool. More people should wear plate skirts IRL. I feel like a plate skirt IRL would be very heavy. Like, that would be difficult to get around in, wouldn't it? Alright, bonus boss over here. Triggering so many feminists. Triggering feminists. I try and stay very non-political in my videos because most of those issues don't have anything to do with WoW. But it would be strange if somebody's called me like a raging feminist or not a raging feminist. I think women are people. That's not terribly controversial. I think everybody should have access to the same things, and I think we should treat everybody as much the same as we can without judging people. It's not a hard concept to master. Doesn't need to be a huge deal. Have I done this boss before? I don't know if I've done this boss before. Finally caught you live. Love your pet battle videos. Aw, thanks. I've been watching politics are dumb. Politics make people so angry, and while I respect that people are passionate about their opinions, it's just something that exhausts me to engage in, so I just choose to... I have my opinions, I keep them private. Other people have their opinions, that's fine too. We can all just live together and be happy and play WoW. That's it's kind of a bury your head in the sand approach, but that's totally fine. Everyone is human, that's true. Unless you're an alien, in which case I still think we should give you a chance because I don't know your life. Why are your arms so skinny? Obama bin Laden, you gotta love YouTube. Because they're proportionate to the rest of my body. I am not overweight. I am not underweight. I am perfectly happy with my shape. I eat plenty of food. It's nobody's business how skinny or not skinny I am. Not all of us. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, yeah. Mother of worms. God, I love the voice acting in here. Grubmaster. This trash got so much easier once I figured out about the metamorphosis, and it actually gives me some very stone... Oh, I have a bug on my head, gross! It gives me some very Stonecore vibes, because you remember in Stonecore, there were those Earth Shaper mobs. I don't know if they were called Earth Shapers. They were called something. And they would have this big cast, and it would have a big dirt whirlpool like function on it. And what that would do is it would eventually either transform them or summon like this big angry mob or do like a bunch of damage. It was like really bad. You didn't want to let them finish that cast, but it was like a puggable random heroic dungeon. So of course it would get off all the time. But it was really easy to stop, kind of like this metamorphosis thing, although unfortunately you can't kick the metamorphosis. But this always reminds me of that, because you've got like the same worm boss model. You've got, I keep forgetting Shadow Crash. You've got the same worm boss model. You've got the same kind of, this looks very Stonecore, and then you've got a similar kind of mechanic. So I wonder if it was sort of inspired by that. It is kind of annoying how they pop up behind you. Like that guy, you could have very easily not noticed him. I always try and throw mind bombs on them, just to give us some extra time on them, so we don't end up with extra grabby worms. You're a lizard person, that's why you got a job in the US government. Oh dear. Don't judge me for clicking my abilities. I had to drink my tea. It was very important. Also, are we switching to minions? Or are we just gonna like truck this boss right here? I feel like we can probably just truck him. I love getting a nice early void form because it means that I don't have to refresh my dots for like the whole fight. Oh, you know what? I expect to surrender to madness. I could. I won't. I won't make you guys res me, but it's always fun. Get a good surrender. Surrender to madness. I understand that it's a hard talent to balance, and I didn't like the idea of it at first. When I first heard about it back in like the Legion beta, I was like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I'm never gonna play that. I don't want to die. But when you actually, now that I've played with it, obviously it's pretty good damage. It's best damage on most fights if you can use it effectively. It's so much fun. It's like, as soon as you press it, you've got this pressure, and, you know, your butt clenches, and you sit on the edge of your seat, and you're, like, frantically tapping your buttons to get the maximum insanity that you can, and you're, like, timing your stacks to know when you're going to pop Power Infusion, when you're going to pop your Shadow Fiend, you're waiting for Bloodlust, you're trying to judge how long you're going to make it, and you're just trying very hard not to die. And that it gets your heart racing, it gets your adrenaline up, it's really fun. Very, very cool. I don't think we're going to keep that talent after Legion. I think it's going to be something that's redesigned away when they redo the classes again at the end of Legion. But, oh my god, it's so much fun. And you do such good damage, and I'm on board with anything that gets me some good damage. Where's my legendary, guys? Where is it? I need one. I need just a nice orange. I don't even care which one. I mean, obviously a good one would be nice, but just the item level would be great. The rogue mobs in the PvP World Quest area that tell me behind you trigger you so hard when you're on Boomkin casting Full Moon. Yeah. Man, those don't bother me at all in my Shadow Priest, just because, you know, you're mind flaying. If somebody moves behind you, your character just spins around because you're already channeling on them. It's great. Faster, faster, more power now. Yeah, exactly. You feel like a crazy cultist that's, you know, messing with stuff they really shouldn't be, and it's awesome. Love it. I need to get better at it, though. I always pop it too early or too late, because I don't have a good feel for exactly what percentage. It'll get easier once we get in a better rhythm of raiding, but I don't have a good feel for exactly when I should be popping it. And I've had a couple of fights where I died, like, at... I think I did it on... I did it too early on normal...
I am sorry, heroes.
Normal, shit, what was it? Ursoc? I did it too early in normal Ursoc this week, because I figured we were just going to explode him, because we had quite a bit of damage. So, I popped Surrender at, like, 39%, like 40%. And, I died around, like, 11% because, it just wasn't enough. My Power Infusion was about to come back up. I would have been just fine, but I didn't have Power Infusion for like 5 seconds too late. So I just need to get better at timing it all out. And once I have a good system and I know everything there is to know about that I can figure out anyways, I'll make a good video on Shadow Priest. I might do it boss by boss, talking about the talents that I like to use for different bosses once we're in a point where people can actually afford to change talents between bosses. Right now, my guild does not have the inscription thingy that lets you change your talents between bosses. My guild doesn't have those. We barely have potions. Like, those expensive potions are so expensive. So, yeah. But a little later, we talk about the talents that I like for each boss, and there's a lot less talent switching in between bosses now. You kind of set yourself up for a spec, and that spec uses, say, Reaper's Souls and Auspicious Spirits and Shredder Madness, and you just kind of play it. Which is, I guess, kind of nice. Having to switch between single and multi-target specs got kind of old in WoD. Because they played so differently. You would be performing such a different rotation depending on whether you're doing single target or multi-target. Should I dot up that thing? Probably. Also, I'm munching Mind Blast right now. Not so good. Oh, look at it. Look at how dead that thing is. I need to fix up my unit frames a little bit. These default ones are really small. I had myself set up with shadowed unit frames in Warlords, and I really liked it once I had it, like, to my perfect setup. Just to make multi-dotting a little bit easier. And then I need to get a tab target button. I actually don't have tab target bound because it was so bad. But I do think even with tab target bad, it's still better than not tab targeting. We need to not pull it over there. We reset it. We're starting again. It's okay. As long as, I didn't surrender to madness, so we're cool. 25, make a baseline for Shadow Priests. Like, heroism is baseline for Shaman, and then redesign the top talent row. Yeah, I think so too. 25% feels good for popping. Surrender. I thought 25% too, but I was living way too late. Like, I had plenty of time left at the end of the fight with our kill times on heroics, so I bumped it closer to 30 and then 35. I think 30 is going to be my good spot, but 35 is nice because that's when you start getting access to Shadow Death. And if you're taking Reaper Souls, which I'm pretty sure you should when you're I'm pretty sure you should be Reaper Souls when you're Surrender to Madness. Helps a lot to keep your insanity up. And you can, of course, pool them until later levels of insanity when you're draining a lot faster. But Just a little longer cram waiting for things like Power Infusion just nails the crazy cultist running a Power Vibe, yeah. And it's so disappointing when you don't quite get your claws on Power Infusion in time. It's like it's coming up in 5-4, but like my, you know, my Insanity's almost gone and my Void Bolt's not back up yet, and it's just crazy. It'll be really fun once I get the hang of it on multi-target fights like Cenarius. Cenarius is a bit of a shit show for me right now. We always do Cenarius at the very end of a night, and I'm always like super tired by the time we get to him, so I'm not playing optimally, and I'm not super on top of what's going on. So I don't multi-dot terribly effectively in Cenarius, which is going to help my damage a lot once I get around to it. I just need to like start drinking coffee on raid night. I don't want to mess up my sleep schedule though, and I'm so naturally sleepy by like 9:30 at night. It's so sad. Such an old lady. Reaper Soul's pretty mandatory. Yeah, figured. Alright. Come on. Nope. Yeah. It's, at least I got some blues disenchants, that's something. And I get to turn in my cash, so thanks guys. Alright, so I'm going to turn in my cash, and then I'm going to go do some single player Suramar, because it came to my attention today that I do not have the Suramar. I do not have, actually, now that I was going to let you guys see my mog. I don't have the Good Suramar achievement for the Pathfinder. I'm going to need that. So this is what I'm wearing. I've got like this bell on my belt. I have like these brown wad robes. I have the bird shoulders. And you can see every now and then they start to kind of spit fire. I think they spit more fire. I think that's just the smoke stage of them. Maybe not. Maybe that was all the fire they were going to spit. And the birds are kind of holding bells. And then of course you've got the book. And it's an alright set. I've got it paired with this weird cowl thing. And it would be great if my ponytail didn't stick out of it. But I never really noticed that. But it's just... It's old. I've been wearing it for a while. So I'm going to pop all my artifact power. Artifact. I like that you can do that. So Fish Shanker, Harpy Talon, 1900 from this thing. That's just a relic. I can just disenchant that. Sup, Skaterbun? How have you been? Since last night when I talked to you in raid. Do you have any Mingaz's Madness that makes the entire spec even faster? I don't got any legendaries, man. I have nothing. I have zilch, and I am quite upset about it. But you never know. I'm gonna go turn in this cash. Maybe this is the cash. Maybe this is the lucky one. How do you turn off the shadow effect? If you want to turn it completely off right now, you switch your spec to not shadow. My shadow effect is diminished because I have a glyph. So if I look at my... Yeah, so you buy the Glyph of Shadow, and then you apply it to your Void Form ability, and it alters the appearance of your innate shadowy form to be less transparent. They are, however, in 7.1 giving us back the button that changes us in and out of shadow form, so that'll be good for wanting to actually look at your mug. Hi, Kristen. How are you doing? Opinion on Forced Shadow Form. I'm glad we get the toggle back. I kind of got on board with Forced Shadow Form because I was very much a liability to forget to activate it and then go through my whole dungeon or raid or whatever without wearing my optimal, without being in Shadow Form. So I was okay with it being default. It was annoying whenever I make a video where I'm zooming my camera all the way in to look at a pet or something. I have to either switch my spec or do it in a different character because the shadow effect actually puts purple on top of the screen, which is not what I'm looking for when I'm making videos, so... It'll be nice having the toggle back, I think, for video making. I'm gonna have to make myself a weak or something to remind me when I enter combat to put my shadow form on. But I don't know if they needed to add it back. I'm trying to think of use cases other than mine, why you would want to have it off, other than for like screenshots and stuff. Don't turn it off anymore since 7.1. Yeah. I think... What if they just had a visual toggle? Like, what if, I guess, like, why don't they just make the effects of it permanent to your shadow form? And then just get, like, have, like, a cosmetic ability that you can get with a minor glyph that cleanses the shadow from your body, making you temporarily look. I guess they want you to definitely be purple in combat. They don't want you looking not shadowy if you're doing shadow combat. So, I don't know what the answer is. Fun dungeon, gotta go for the night. See you guys. See you later. Thanks for the damage. You got your modification station finished on Subnautica. What? You're gonna have to give some context. I have no idea what you're talking about. You were bummed they killed Inscription. It was one of your favorite profs. Yeah, the glyph system doesn't seem very kind to Inscription, but the talent changey thingamadoodle seems very kind to Inscription. I think those are going for a lot of gold right now, so you can still make money with it, just not with glyphs. Figured out how to change the name that shows on YouTube. I figured it was you based on the fact that I can kind of see your avatar and it kind of looks similar to what you have on Twitter, so I figured I knew who it was, but I wasn't entirely sure. Should have shadow build up as you get void energy? Yeah, and it kind of does when you're in void form. Early void form has a different animation graphic than late void form, but I was actually, before Legion launched, I was really concerned that my void form did not have enough tentacles, but I think I just wasn't looking at it late enough into void form. Okay. Emissary cash time. Fingers crossed. We gotta believe in the dream. That's not the dream. That's the wrong dream. Ugh. What is this? Oh yeah, that was my satchel from the other thing. I get 1 augment rune and 842 gold. I'll take the 842 gold. And then that's the artifact power, which I will also take. So, we have about 40 minutes left. I need to do all these things for good Suramar, and I don't even know if it's worth tracking. Probably not. I should probably just go back to Suramar. Let's see, I don't need to be tracking this. I do need to be tracking that. World quest, sure. Essence of Clarity, you don't need to track that. So I'm going to go, witness Lila's Ascension is the point of Suramar that I'm doing right now. So I head over there and get that done. I think I might actually talk to them in the Waning Crescent. We'll see. That's just a world quest. And I believe that's the only quest that I'm actually actively on. And then I'll find other quest givers as I move through the zone to hopefully finish off that achievement. We're not going to finish it today, but I do need to make some progress on it. Otherwise, if you're not moving, you're just standing still. What if it was like Worgen form, turn on automatic for combat? Yeah, that would make sense. That would be much better if you had a toggle that cleansed you of the shadow for visual effects and screenshots and like whatever you want. And then when you enter combat, like in Worgens, you just pop into shadow form because you know you're shadowing people. Roleplay, some people want to be Shadow Priest but not in dark scary shadow form all the time. So that would be a good solution for people like that because you'd be able to turn it off when you're not in combat if you're just role-playing. And you're not role-playing in a combat sense, then, yeah, you could just turn it off for roleplay and then turn it back on. I like this form. I like the glyph of shadow. I think this is a good compromise because I can still see my transmog. And, oh, too far. And being able to see my transmog is very important to me. You put a lot of time into picking up the sets, and it kind of sucks when you can't see any of it. But, okay, let's try that. Hello? I think that was just my OBS that froze. I don't think there was any good reason for why that happened, because my internet was fine. I didn't DC or glitch from WoW at all. Holding firmly. Okay. Stream resume. Stream's continuing. I wonder if that's going to break it up into 2 VODs. That's going to be really annoying if it breaks it up into 2 different VODs on YouTube. I really just want the one. I wonder if I can change that. I'm not even recording locally either. Ugh, that's gross. Staring at that dismount button. It's killing your OCD in the middle of the screen like that. Oh, like the request stop on the flight path button? That's always in the middle screen, isn't it? Sup? James, hi. Broke it. I'm scrolling up. I missed some stuff. Okay, so, it was fun to tank. Thanks for the fun. See you later. You're probably long gone by now. Subnautica is a game, survival crafting games, but it's underwater. Modification stations are a thing you build in your base. That? Oh god. Warrior's always scaring me, man. Okay, so that sounds a lot like Don't Starve, actually. Making a thingy. Man is herbalism inscription. Right now you're making gold with herbalism, selling ink. Yeah. I think herbalism is an excellent way to make gold no matter what you're doing with your herbs. I think you can just sell raw herbs right now and do pretty well with them. Thank you for picking my question. No problem. I try and get to all of the questions on the vlog. I don't always, if there's like a lot of them or if I don't understand some of them, but I try and get to all the questions. That may become less feasible in the future if we start getting like 10 plus questions every week. We may not be able to answer them all in every video. And at that point, I'm probably just going to have to implement some kind of drawing system. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I need to witness Lila's Ascension. I think I left in the middle of this quest chain, and I don't know if I actually have to go to the place marked on my map. I think it might port me there. So let's just like take this portal and run around and look for the yellow thing. Hazel, love watching your Druid PvP vids. Oh, thanks. Should be a new one out on, if you're talking about the Battleground vids, there should be a new one out Sunday? If you're talking about arena vids, I do plan on doing more of those, but I don't know when. There's too much to do in Legion, guys. It's just too much. First person, don't starve, under the ocean, on an alien world with lots of interesting creatures. Oh, cool. One of these days, one of these weeks, actually. One of these weeks, the stream doesn't have to be WoW every time. I just kind of do that right now because I need to catch up on WoW, but I may do like an Overwatch stream some week, or maybe we'll do like a Hearthstone stream, or could totally be down for a Don't Starve stream as well. Something's not quite right. I don't know what I would do without those guys, though. They're just too funny. They're just too silly. Bugs me that the bodyguard doesn't need a disguise. Yeah, he just runs around like nobody's like, die Outlander to him. Even though he's quite clearly an Outlander. So, I don't like this place. There's like a lot of guards and demons and crap. Am I even getting close? Is there a teleporter? I'm not. I might have to abandon the quest to go try and pick it up again. Meet me there. The other houses. I'll wait for that guy to pass. Although maybe he doesn't see me. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't think that guy knows. I don't know. I don't think those guys know what's up. Does this teleport me up? Can I bet you there's a teleporter in the back here. I wish there was a good map, when there probably is, like on a third-party website, but oh, this is highlighted blue. That's good. That's a good start. Am I in the right spot? Yes, there's a thing I can click on. Picked my question once. You asked about a preview of the new transmog system. You said it was a good idea. Didn't get to it before launch. That's true. I remember that question. I remember saying I would try and do it, and then I remember not doing it. Sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. There was just so much stuff to cover before launch, and then launch happened, and then it was out. And then I figured, well, we have it now. It's already over. Missed it. The Nightborn are down with the trolls.
My lord, you have lost your sense.
I should have been a different race then.
It is already decided.
Okay, well, if I gotta turn that in, I probably can't jump. I probably need to go around. Thank you for the pet videos. Won the Celestial Tournament. Thanks to your guides. No problem. I need to update those. I know they're not current. I know they don't all work anymore because of the 7.0 changes.
Good day.
But I'm gonna finish making the Trade Skill Master guides, and then I'm gonna do some gold making stuff, and then after that I think I'll be able to go back and start doing refreshed pet battle videos. There's not a huge demand for them. There's people asking for them, but I don't know how I don't think they're gonna be super big. Okay. Alright, so I have to do a thing now. Talishar is an honor duel. If I lose, I must forfeit my title to Corin Stellaris. That's why you're going to fight for me. I'll grant you a more powerful disguise for this task. Together we'll put Corin in his place. Okay, so I just gotta beat up a dude. Cool.
Glory to the
I can do that. Alright, so...
Talishar it is. I name my friend here as my
Oh, she pointed to me. Look at that.
I have no need to hide behind a champion. I will defend my own honor.
I don't like this guy. He's kind of rude.
Meet me atop the sanctum when you are ready to die, whelp.
One question. DBM or bigwigs? I'm a DBM person myself. Most of my guild, I think, is also on DBM. Better PvPer because of your Battleground videos? Thank you. No problem. I kind of feel like these blue gloves I got for my world quest might be an upgrade, and this makes me sad. Oh, man.
Greetings.
Okay, so I'm ready to face him. That is upsetting.
I am modifying.
You finished up Robert Craig for Family Familiar. You're 10 of 10 for 3 trainers now. Well, you should just make your own YouTube channel and put together some... That's the other thing I gotta do is Family Familiar guides. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't started those, and I don't know when I will. I don't know when. Oh no! I want to just be a Shadow Priest. I don't want to be somebody with Force Blast and Spiral Slice and Spellbreak. All right, this better be really fun. This better be really, really fun for you to make me use all these abilities.
It had not been necessary, but you have done well. I will send you back to the tavern when you are ready.
Hello? Am I back on? Live? Okay, stream resumed. Okay. I really hope that doesn't split up the VoD. I don't know why it's disconnecting. My WoW's fine.
Yes.
I'm not even... My Windows is fine. My computer is not doing it. It's got to be OBS or YouTube. It's got to be one of those two. Okay, so we made great strides. She's not going to forget this. She's going to give me 3,500 artifact power. All right. Please speak Russian. I can't speak London. Unfortunately, I can't speak Russian, so... sometimes I do my Zarya accent, but I don't know any actual Russian words. Did you see the Murloc slippers coming to the store? They make Murgle sounds when you walk. Oh my god. I want the Pachimari, the little Overwatch turnip. I'm probably not going to get it because I don't let myself buy Blizzard plushies because they're expensive and I don't need them. But those slippers are pretty cute. Right now I have like fluffy, these are like panda slippers because they keep my feet warm and they're ridiculous and my husband got them for me. But man, those Murloc ones are cute. You got into Pet Battle late. You find the videos invaluable. Cool. You doing alright over there? Yes, my stream froze. I don't know why. Zorvask is super annoying for the dragons familiar, I bet he is. Because you only need... I don't think you need to do all of them. I think you can skip him if you do other ones. You look like you're about to sneeze, yeah. Not loving the new interactive quests. I like new quests. I don't like quests that give me action buttons that are not my own. Don't talk bad about Blitz quests. Apparently not. Welcome back. There we go. Okay, so if she becomes something different to her Shadowfree, she broke the streaming. Used Nexus Whelpling Stormborn and just muscled through Zorvask. Yeah. I bet those two could probably take care of most things. Alright, so this... friends with benefits. Okay. This is an intriguing quest. She offers me a wax-sealed scroll. Dearest Hazel, I asked my attendant to catch you. Role advisor keep me away from these statements sometimes. You settle on the gift for Thalissa. Okay, so I go back to Thalissa, basically. I thought I was getting an in-game booty call. I thought that was going somewhere more interesting than it was. So, we're going to whistle on out of here. This tea is not warm anymore. It's not. I finally figured out, I've gotten better at eyeballing the temperature that my water needs to be for making green tea when I do make green tea. Because when you make green tea with water that's too hot, it kind of burns, doesn't taste very good. But if you're making green tea closer to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and you only steep it for like 2 minutes, maybe 3, but closer to 2, it's going to taste a lot better. So I've been doing that, but unfortunately when you make tea with slightly cooler water, it cools down a lot faster. And I'm always microwaving my tea because I like drinking like really hot tea. Waxed sealed scroll. Sounds pretty interesting. Well, the quest name was Friends with Benefits, and somebody was sending me like a letter. I thought it was going to be a lot cooler than it was. Alright, so where is she going to send me next? Opening the Archway. Opening the Archway! Finally! I haven't been able... Every time my guild asks me to do Archway or Court of Stars, I'm like, sorry, no, haven't unlocked them yet, and now I'm going to lose my excuse. Because I think I'm finally going to unlock those. I think I've had the rep for a while, but I haven't gotten this far in the question. Deep beneath Suramar, alright, is a defunct set of tunnels. Not funnels. They do not have a defunct set of funnels. Abandoned when a disaster disrupted the mana collectors there. So she wants me to just slay Vandross in the Archway. Can I just go there? Can I just do it? Beware the fury of a patient elf. Enter the Court of Stars. So am I attuned now? They're unlocked now. Yay! Oh, that's so exciting.
Be careful.
I thought that I had to get to the quest chain and then do an extra question to unlock them. I didn't realize I can just go do them now. Sick. Okay, well, I'm not going to do that right away because I did those dungeons on beta. I know what they're all about, but no, I can. Okay, so meet Bro in the Temple of Broness using the teleporter. Okay, cool. Court of Stars is awesome. Archway is alright. How much rep do I have with the Nightfall on? That's a good question. 10k. 10,462 into Revered. Cool. I had no idea that just snuck up on me. I had no idea that I was so close to unlocking it. Which is good, because there was that last set of quests, like before the ones we did today, when you had to like go plant rumors all around Suramar. Yeah. There's so many things that knocked me out of my disguise. So I am... Yes, I need to go up there. Let's take the flight path. If you haven't done them for the week, if you want a DPS tank later, yeah. I could probably do them this weekend sometime. I don't know about tonight. I'm spending time with my husband tonight, but we might end up doing dungeons. Depends on what we decide on. Excuse me. Oh man, Fridays is just like it's just like super nap time. I only let myself nap on Saturdays now because if I take a nap on Sunday, I might like ruin my sleep schedule and not be able to fix it in time for a Monday. But Saturday, I just like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I just, you take a nice nap, get all the way into bed, get the lights all dark, Just a nice adult quiet time, and it's just the best. Just nap. Just like a good nap. Where am I going? North. And I dearly miss naps during the week. So being able to do it on Saturday is always a nice thing to look forward to. Okay. Is there any reason why I need to do those dungeons aside from just having more mythics to do? Is there anything that you get from them that is specific to those dungeons? Or is it just extras now? Yawns are contagious over the interwebs. They are. You can actually watch, like if you're trying to get yourself sleepy, you can actually watch videos on YouTube of people yawning. And sometimes that works. It's very strange, but it works for me. Hi Hazel, huge fan. Love all your videos. The PvP Rester Druid ones because you made one. Huge fan from Brazil. Love you. Aw, thanks. I'm really glad that at least some people watch those Rester Druid videos because they're really fun to make. And I don't plan on stopping making them anytime soon. I need to get my auto talents. I want to do arena so bad, but I just need to get set up for it, and I need to have the time. Like, I don't want to be rushed. Also, I need to turn in a quest to somebody that's, like, here? Using the teleporter in Shalaran. Son of a... Ugh. I gotta come back. And my whistle's not up. Alright, let's just hang out for 20 seconds until I can whistle back there and then use the teleporter. I didn't realize I couldn't just fly here. That's dumb. Agira is great. They drop mini 2-piece sets. Okay, well if I do mythic like plus then and get like good item level of that, that'll be kind of neat. Let's take a look. Loot. Dungeons. So let's take a look at the Archway. Loot. Mythic, obviously. Huh. Some of them are upgrades, like that helmet, apparently. I have an 860 helmet because it's Versa Mastery. Apparently getting crit haste would be a lot better for me. And then the 2 set would give you my spells a chance to increase my haste. So if I got like a Warforged Collar Enclosure, which is kind of like a weird thing. And then, what's the 2 set? Amis of the Unfurling Tempest. What kind of stats does that have? Oh hey, that's my ring. That's weird that I got a ring from a dungeon that I did not have unlocked out of my mythic cache. It's strange that it works like that. That's interesting. Oh, it's probably from the other dungeon, huh? So Court of Stars. Yeah, so it's from the other dungeon. And that also has crit haste, and that is an upgrade. So yeah, if I got those would be an upgrade for me right now. Also, they've got like the little book. 2 dungeons get the best items out of all the dungeons. Alright, alright. You got your Mangaza's Madness from your very first Archway Advisor kill. Aw, man. Maybe I'll get one too. Like, what are... Yeah, it's not impossible. It could happen. Cloth Hat and Cloth Shoulders, amazing for Shadow. Yeah, it looks good. One set piece drops from one, the other from the Archway. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to start running those every week. Ugh. I guess Mythic Plus you can do more than once. I have some new artifact power actually to pop. Artifact power. 3,500 is so good. I am actually kind of glad that I delayed doing Suramar for this long because it means that I'm doing it with like 7 ranks of artifact knowledge. Works pretty good, so we gotta go back to Shalaran. Take the teleporter up here and then see what's up. They open up more quests towards the achievement. Oh, that's important too, because I am gonna need that achievement for Pathfinder, because I fully intend to be able to fly. Did I seriously just whistle, like, across the bridge? Oh my goodness, I completely forgot there was a flight path here. Oh man, I'm ready for bed. It's like 5 o'clock and I'm ready for bed. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through the rest of my day. So, back to Marinil, then take the teleporter. It's so silly. Why can't I just see the dude up there? Why they gotta do this to me? Cloth Transmog set with the tentacly shoulders is pretty neat. I like it because it's like tentacly book ripped pages thing. It would go really good with like the I've got my Gusting Grimoire pet keybound here. Well, not keybound, but I've got them on my bar. I keep a couple of pets on my bar usually, so I can pull them out really quickly. Do I have a video for Restored Druid, like a guide in general? Not a guide. Restored Druid and Legion? No. I am gonna make some videos on PvP Restored Druid once I've had more time with it, and I feel like I'm in a good enough spot to be giving other people advice. Right now, I've spent all my time being a PvE Shadow Priest, but once I've spent some time on my Restored Druid, I will make some guides. The video I have right now on Restored Druid and Legion is quite out of date. It's from early beta, and I believe they've changed quite a few things since then, so I don't know how much stock I would put by it. Alright, Temple of Faladora using the teleporter. So these are portals. These may not be what I want. Teleporter. Teleporter in Shalaran. This is Shalaran. Where's the is it downstairs? Is it one of those, like, thingies that barrel, like, that you click on and it, like, has a little beam out of a pole? Am I making any sense? Teleporter. These are just people.
Greetings.
There's bizarre lightning going on. It's got to be downstairs.
Greetings. We are only as strong as
You might not have opened that teleporter.
you may speak.
Maybe this lady will help me.
I shall not squander.
Oh, she's got a quest for me. Look at that. Acquire the Suramar leyline map from the from the Archway. Cool. All right. So this looks like a teleporter, but these don't do anything. Down in the prison basement of the Temple of Order in Suramar. Huge from Spain. You enjoy the streaming. Keep up with those pet videos. Thanks. Okay, so I'm very confused. I need to meet Vale Walker Ferrodin at the Temple of Faladora using the teleporter in Shalaran. I don't know where the teleporter in Shalaran is. I went up to that place on the map on my own and did not see Vale Walker Ferrodin or any kind of teleporter to activate. Top left hand is a portal. Okay, so let's look at the portals again. Top left hand corner one. So we've got Felsoul Hold, Falinar, 2 empty ones, Twilight Vineyards, Sanctum of the Order, Waning Crescent, Ruins of Eleneth. So if I don't have it, how do I get it? I'll feed this guy too. Maybe he'll help me out. No. Well, he gave me his buff anyways. It's the Spider City. The portal is down the main areas where the scenario takes place. So I need to. Oh, so I need to go. So this is probably underground then, huh? So I need to go down into there. So I need to go into Falinar. It's Sanctum? Why wouldn't they just tell me that? So, it's Falinar. Well, now people are telling me different things. Falinar and Sanctum are 2 entirely different portals, and neither one of them are referenced in this quest. I'm not looking for the Archway. No, I'm trying to do this quest. I have the Sanctum one, but that's for the Archway. Okay. So Falinar. All right. We're doing this one. We're choosing door number A.
The Felderai were elves once.
All right. Well, this is a world quest, but there is a dude here. Thank you. That's so strange that they had his marker on the map. Wait. Oh no, I guess I am underground here. Okay, cool. Thanks. Shard Maidens. Sure. I feel like I've done this a lot of times before. Although I don't think I've done the Crystalline Spark thing. Temple and Falinar. Okay. I still feel like they could have explained that a little bit more clearly. You guys were great. You guys sorted that out for me, but I feel like they could have been like, "Hey, take the Falinar portal." Or made it glow a little more. Maybe put like a dotted yellow line on the floor. Whatever. Anyways, this all seems pretty straightforward, so we should be able to wrap this up pretty quick. Is Ferrodin help me? He is. I am getting some serious withered training flashbacks. But thankfully we don't have to kill quite as many things. I also haven't done my withered army training this week, but I'm struggling to find reasons to do it. I know I need the pet. I know you get rep, but I don't think I care about rep anymore. Like, if I have unlocked the dungeons, what else do I need Suramar rep for? Like, what do you get from Exalted? There must be rep items. Is there another pet or something? A little off topic, but do you have advice for someone who wants to start a YouTube channel? I could probably think of some stuff. So if you're looking to start a YouTube channel, no matter what it's about, it's very easy to get super caught up and thinking, what am I going to name my channel? What am I going to have for my channel art? What are my thumbnails going to look like? Should I have a partner? What are my videos? What's my schedule going to be like? It's very easy to get caught up in all of this stuff and to have a very hard time getting started. And I would say the most important thing is to just make videos and put them out. Like, don't worry about where you're going to advertise them. Don't worry about how good they're going to be. Like, obviously make the best video you can make, but it's more important to publish a video than to make sure it's perfect. And trying to make something perfect at the expense of actually finishing it is just going to hold you back. So just imagine that you have, like, 500 really garbage videos in you. Like, innately in you. You have to make, like, hundreds of terrible videos before you can make any good ones, because it's just a learning process. Your first videos are always going to be kind of crappy. It's just kind of how it works. If you go to my channel, you look back at my very first videos, they're bad. They're real bad. And that's okay. Like, you just have, it's the same, you just have to do it, and you learn from your mistakes, and you're always trying to get better. And the most important thing is to actually be doing it. You want to be prioritizing your time. Obviously, still make sure that everything surrounding it is good, and as good as you can make it, but just make videos and just start it. And that goes for anything. That goes for any hobby, anything you want to get into. You just gotta start doing it. Unless, of course, it's skydiving, in which case you should probably look into some safety measures. But you just gotta start. Starting's the most important thing. You needed to complete Get Sir Martin. Of course you do. I just want Suramar to be optional. I just want to not have to do it. They're just gonna make me do all of it.
In a flash of wild
it's a mount that puts the mask on when you mount up. Well, that sounds nice. Found your channel when searching for Legion beta coverage. Watch your play Amnesia. That was fun. Hey, those Amnesia videos, they weren't bad. They're just old. I thought that was a fun playthrough. That was a scary game. That is the only scary game I'll ever do. Those videos are on the channel. You can watch them if you want. I'm not doing it again. I'm done with scary games. I don't like jump scares. They're bad for my health. They're bad for my heart. I get nightmares. It's just not worth it. It's not worth my sanity to play scary games. So we're done. Suramar, easily your favorite zone. Yeah. It would be my favorite zone. If like, I don't know. Something about mandatory single player questing just drains me. If it was actually optional, but just had, I guess it is. I don't know. I don't know what my problem with Suramar is. It's exhausting. Like, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, the content is well done, and I'm still killing maidens in the wrong part. I need to keep moving. Return? Oh, I need to go back. Okay. Up? Yeah. Okay. Amnesia is your favorite scary game. Definitely gonna watch those. Perfect for Halloween. Yeah. Yeah, I did, it was the Amnesia sequel. It was Machine for Pigs. I didn't do original Amnesia because I think Machine for Pigs was less scary. I was still terrified. But I think, the Machine for Pigs was less scary than original Amnesia. Once you aren't behind, you can group for it. What do you mean? Once I'm not behind, I'll be done, right? Right? Like, once I finish this, I'll be done, right? I won't have to go back. I don't wanna. Like, I know there's world quests and dailies and whatever. Okay. Oh, I wasn't supposed to take that. Oops. Whoops. Whoopsies. Your problem with Suramar is that it isn't Stormheim. Stormheim best zone. My problem with Suramar is it isn't Vel'Shirah. If I had to do all this daily stuff in Vel'Shirah, I would have been all over that. Okay, so I figured out where I need to be. Now I go back to Shal'Aram. Alright. Oh, gosh. Your original is terrifying to you, but you love the story. Yeah. I didn't play the original. I watched it. I've watched a couple of different people's playthroughs of Amnesia, so I'm pretty familiar with the game. But I didn't play the original because I knew I couldn't handle it. I did Machine for Pigs blind, though. I did not watch anybody play that before I did it. Alright. Purified life essence from the Emerald Dream, hidden inside the raid. Okay. I can probably do that. So, do I need to do this quest? Xavius. Okay, so I need to do that quest next week when we actually clear the raid again. I see. Maybe I should have picked that quest up before we stop doing normals, because I think we might be done with normals. Branch of the Arkandor. Okay. So, I can mend the arcane essence of even more withered. Alright. So how close am I to being completely done with single player Suramar? Am I done now? Like, I know I have to do good Suramartin, so I have to do these things. So I gotta go find the starting points for those quests. But am I done the main storyline of the zone now that I have a big old tree and she's enchanted my branch of the Arkandor and I'm ready to go kill Xavius? Am I done? You can't wait for Outlast 2? Ugh. I watched people play Outlast 2 and that was too much for me. My guild is not recruiting. We are full. We have too many people. We have too many raiders. They're looking for solutions to that, so we're not recruiting at this time. Alright. Now what? No. So the map is from the Archway, so that's an Archway thing. So for this, I know I need to go do some quests over here. How do you know where to go to pick up the quests for good Sarah Martin? Like, I know I found some of them. I found some of them just when I was wandering around trying to find stuff. But how do you know where to start the rest of that? After raid 2-step, realized we were 1 week away from Cenaria's portal. Was talking about doing one more week of normals. Okay. Yeah, as long as we do another week of normals, it should be easy enough for me to get this. Although I could probably even do that in LFR as well. I bet you can do this quest in LFR, so that'd be fine. 20k rep to finish the storyline, get an achievement. Okay, so I'm now gated until I get more rep then. I gotcha. I gotcha. Alright. What does good Sir Martin look like? Yeah. It's, I'm about this far in. I just need to know... I guess I can probably look up a map, but I bet you there's just quest givers that have quests that they're ready to give me out in the world, and I just need to find out where they are. I can probably look up those individual things in the Wowhead. I'm sure Wowhead is a guide for me. In any case, let's do some of the ones in the zones. In the zones? What? I guess I could just do world quests. There are 3 more out in the world. Okay. But where do I find out where? Like, do I have to look that up on a third-party website, or do I just run around like a chicken, or like what? I'll probably just look it up on Wowhead at some point. I bet you they have info. Zones mentioned in the criteria. They don't give you any more information than the name of it. How am I supposed to know? I guess Telenor and Janvik's Jarl and Moonguard Stronghold. Okay, I see. I see. I gotcha. I don't know where Moonguard Stronghold is, actually. Maybe it's up here. No, that's Stormheim. Have I not explored all of Stormheim? That's the other thing I'm missing, is I haven't quite explored all the zones for the thing. Go to Janvik before entering a person will run up to you. Alright. Well, I will do that one day. In any case, we're pretty much coming on 5 here, so I'm probably going to turn off the stream before it decides to turn itself off again. It does still say 2 hours of elapsed time, so I am really hoping that it does not split up the stream VoD on YouTube, because I really just want the one video for people to watch if they want to catch up on the thing. Just north of the Iron Grove flight point. Okay, thank you. I will, I'll make a note of that and try and get this done at some point, because I'm gonna need to be able to fly. In any case, thank you guys so much for coming. I'm gonna be back next week, same time, same place. Possibly same content. We might do more dungeons next time. We might do more than one heroic. We did that one today, and that was good. We might do multiples. Or maybe I'll do something else. Maybe it'll be Overwatch, maybe it'll be Hearthstone, who knows. In any case, come back next week to find out. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.